Hi, and welcome back to the Mr. Brad Worden Show. And tonight, I'm just going to do a recap and aftermath effect of my Trouble Bubble video last night, which went well and not so well all in the same time. So what happened was I had them all set up. I was going for my record of 7. And what I've done in the past, just to really push myself, is I cut them all open ahead of time and put them on the plate. So that meant if I wasn't able to get through any of those in the video, that meant they would have just gone to waste because they wouldn't have been sealed anymore. So I would have just had to chew them for fun or throw them out. And Trouble Bowls are a little costly, so that would have kind of been wasteful. So I had to try and push to get through them all, even though many a time I thought of just quitting after a few and just like calling it a day. Especially, I can't remember which one. One of the first ones, I did breathe in a little bit. It wasn't as significant as the 3 where I like almost had to give up. But you could see me coughing and gagging a little bit there. Where I like knew after that many, I had to work through because I couldn't let that many go to waste. But then the camera person gave me a lot of mixed singles, which like made it difficult because sometimes she was pushing for me to go on, and then other times she's like, should you be doing this? Is this safe? Is this safe? Which I don't really always know what the limit is. I mean, these are 16 million Scoville units each. That's the upper limit. And this last batch that I did was extremely coated, like the most coated batch I've ever seen from K-John. So coated, they're like snow white. You couldn't even like see the pink underneath. And then the 3 new ones I ordered, they're still K-Johns, but I got them off Amazon. But even those ones were pretty white. I could slightly see the pink underneath, but they were still pretty white if you watch it. But there were so many times I wanted to give up where just so much burns, like everything burns. And I didn't have the gloves, so my hands were burning, and then I got it around my mouth. And
I had a mask on and my nose was burning underneath the mask.
yeah, so by the end, even the people in the house around, even though they had like double masks on, they were starting to feel it too again. So it's that crazy. It just emulates and it gets all around and all over. And I'll get to the aftermath, but I mean, I really had to push through. I mean, it was so hot. It was hot everywhere. It's hot in the mouth, on the tongue to try and push those bubbles out. It gets pretty extreme. Hot in the throat, hot in the chest. I think that was the worst part. Like right in here, like the going down, and then hits you in the stomach a little bit later on.
And we had no milk or anything in the house.
Yeah, so I'll get to that point. That was part of the aftermath. But I really, I mean, had to push through. I got to the point by, what was it, like piece 5 or 6, where I just kind of got the endorphin rush really going. Like, I was tingling, I was shaking, my fingers were starting to shake, you know, that buzzy. If you've done this, you know this, like, head rush, tingling ears, all that stuff. My nose was just totally going crazy too. So then by the time I got done with piece 7, I mean, my sinuses, I had somewhat of a cold going, and I'm still dealing with the trail end of that. I mean, my nose was just running, faucet running, like, and then by the end it was like bubbling out, which was pretty gross. And then I was spitting, and then I like a throw up. It was like a phlegm like throw up onto the plate. It was like just capsaicin, like white. You probably caught that on there. Then I grabbed for the bucket just so you wouldn't have to watch it, and my nose was just, it was like, not to be graphic or gross, but like snot bubbling out. And then as soon as the camera got off, I lost a little bit of on the plate, a little bit more in the bucket, and then just being at like a 9 to 10 heat scale, I was like, somebody help me out. I was saying off camera, somebody help me out because I needed something to clear my nose. I needed something to blow my nose with. And I didn't want to spread capsaicin everywhere because I didn't want to touch them the first few pieces I tried to eat out of the wrapper. But then after that, it got too hard. So I was like trying to pick them up. So I had capsaicin all over my hands and waving them all around. And that caught up to us a little bit later too. So after the fact, I tried to wipe down the table and stuff, and things had gotten over a little bit. And then today, I touched my eye, and something must have had it on because I had a really burning eye at one point. And then during lunch today, my camera person, who usually sits next to me, she's like, "Hey, this food's not supposed to be spicy, isn't it?" And I'm like, "No," because she's like, "I got a burn in my mouth going." So somewhere along the line, it must have got over there too. So I mean, it was spread around all over again. So going back to the aftermath, it's crazy when you get that much capsaicin. Like fortunately I didn't get any in my eyes, but my whole bottom of my mouth after like blowing my nose and trying to wipe out the whole bottom of my face like burnt like all night long, probably from my eyeline, cheekbone down, just all burnt. My hands burnt from touching it. I got so much powder all over my hands. They're good now. And then everything was emulating capsaicin. I mean, I hit the shower last night and everything burned, like my pores, everything burned. That's happened before when I've done trouble bubbles. But everything burns, and using the bathroom burns. A lot of things burnt. My stomach. Fortunately, I didn't get really bad calf cramping. I didn't get really bad calf cramping. Sorry, pardon my language.
Family friendly show.
But I did have burn in my stomach all last night and a little bit on and off through the day today. So I did survive it. I'm pretty good by now, I would say. Taking the day off from eating anything spicy, I think. I don't think I had anything spicy today. But anyway, it was a hard challenge. And I do not think, I'm going on the record, I do not think I'm going to break that record to 7 or even attempt to anymore. 6 and 7 are just super extreme. I mean, it's extreme. It's to the point where I don't know what point it gets dangerous taking in that much 16 million capsaicin or Scoville units. I just don't know what the limit is, but I hit a point where, like, it's such an endorphin rush that actually by the end of those 2 videos where I'm getting shaky, and then when I got up, my legs were all, like, shaky and wobbly too, where it's just so much. Like, once you get past a limit, it gets seriously hot. Like when I was on piece like 3, 4, 5, it was just so hot, but by 6 and 7 it's just like you're just on a different level. So I don't know if anybody will break or attempt the record, but it's seriously an extreme thing. So 7's maybe where I'll be at. Maybe I'll just do a few pieces here or there in the future just for fun, but I don't think I'll go for the 8. I don't think I'll attempt it. I don't know.
Your camera person I was kind of against it.
My camera person got a little bit scared as I was doing it at points last night, so she's like, probably not good. Well, we've had discussions off camera, if I should even go for more than 6, because even at 6 when I did it last year, or would have been 2021 now, was pretty extreme too. I had like a really weird endorphin rush thing, and last night was pretty much the same. And then just capsaicin. You're like, you can tell your whole body's just like absolutely overload capsaicin, like everything burns. Shower, like my whole body burned. It was like lit up, kind of like when you put capsaicin cream on or get it on your skin or whatever. My whole body, and I didn't even touch my whole body, so it was like
my hand burned last night after your shower.
Like if you even like, like
you just had to pulled
I
my
came
hand.
out of the shower last night, and my camera person, she's like, put my hand. I don't know if we
I had
held hands.
We were holding
or,
hands. My hand was cold.
Yeah, her hand was cold, so we held hands, and then her hand started burning after like a few minutes of touching my hand.
So I said, "Oh, I'm warm enough," and like, yeah, I was like, "No, stay away from me."
So yeah, this is high end. This is 16 million. It's extreme. It's even one piece. If you're not if you're not a chili head, it's going to be pretty extreme on this.
Would not recommend for children. We've seen a few parents on YouTube allow their younger kids, to even younger teenagers, to do it, and
not a good idea. You should be at least 18 before doing this.
And our daughter asked about it, and we said absolutely not.
Not this one, no. And then my heat level too, I didn't talk much about that, was, I want to say 9 to 10-ish. 10 I want to keep for like the very hottest things. So I think I said it was a 10, but I don't know if I want to go that extreme, because seriously, the Curse of the Four Horsemen, which I'm trying to shoot for, is just as extreme, if not even a little bit hotter than what I just did. I mean, it's
a different type of hot, I think, though.
It is. This is capsaicin, and for some reason I can handle capsaicin a little bit better, whereas that pure pepper powder is what gets me a little bit more. Like, some people are better with that, and some people are better with capsaicin. Like, I can handle capsaicin a little bit better eating if you check my League of Fire ratings, a lot of Trouble Bubbles and a lot of the Death Nuts, which are 16 million Scoville coatings. But then when it comes to peppers, there's people that can totally out-eat me at hot peppers and things with, like, extremely hot peppers, and like, eat way more hot peppers. Like, my limit, like, some of those people are eating like in the dozens or even hundreds of hot peppers, and my threshold right now might be like 10 max, and that's not very much.
You said it's not even the heat, it's your stomach gets you.
It's the stomach, yeah.
It's not the heat. The heat's not, you're like, you can handle eating hot peppers.
Yeah, the heat wise, but then my stomach just gets totally tore up, where for some reason the capsaicin, a little bit, I'll still get cap cramping sometimes, but just not as much. So, all right, well, I was able to do it last night. I was able to get the 7 Trouble Bubbles. That'll probably be my threshold, I'm guessing.
If everybody wants to go for it.
Yeah, good luck. And now the way they make them too is even more coated than they pretty much used to be. The ones they sent out right at the beginning to some of the people to try, like some of the early ones, they purposely made them really amped up. And then for a while, like, it was really hit or miss. Like, some of them were powdered, some of them weren't that powdered.
It definitely made for a more, like, I would say, though, Kate Johns did a really good job. It definitely made for more of a challenging challenge.
Oh,
so
yeah.
If you want to challenge,
these 7 I had, they were pretty powdered and pretty amped up and ready to go. So that made this last challenge, like, pretty legit too. Like, I couldn't get away with saying, oh, I broke the record with, like, ones that weren't that powdered up. These were all pretty highly powdered. The Kate Johns ones were extremely powdered, and the ones that even came from Kate Johns from Amazon, those ones were pretty powdered up too. Yeah, they were pretty white too. So,
well, it's pretty bad when your family has to wear masks.
Yeah, because it was floating around, and I breathed, and I forgot one after effect too. Last night my voice was like all raspy too. Like, my voice wasn't the same. It was like all scratchy and raspy.
And your camera person had to do a milk run and ice cream run for you?
Because we had none in the house, and I wanted some to amp it down. And I did have a little bit, but when she got back, but pretty much by the time she got back, my heat level had already it was pretty significantly came down. Though the burn never totally went away last night, even like several hours later, I was probably still feeling some heat, probably not even a chili head one, but like an average person, maybe like 4 or 5. I was hanging in most of the night. It just wouldn't totally go away, which was kind of crazy too.
Anybody that attempts this, though, I give them props because like it's tough.
Yeah.
I think Roger at Hot Thing Shows probably is he the one that has second place? I think.
Yeah, he did 4.
I watched Roger. I watched you today. That was amazing. And yeah.
Yeah, and
I watched quite a few other
Internet
people
Monster,
do it.
he had 3, and a lot of other people have done it, but
after that, I watched.
It's quite a ride. That's all I can say is overall it's quite a ride. So thank you for watching. If you watch, thank you for supporting the channel. And this has just been a recap video, and eventually I'll get back to some challenges, and eventually I'm gonna hopefully try the 4 horsemen if I get the courage and training in. I mean, after this, my tolerance is probably pretty high, but we'll see. Anyway, glad you enjoyed, and have a great rest of your weekend.
I know.
Oh dear.
Now that your heat tolerance is up, I'll just start putting like pepper powder in all of your food.
Oh dear.
Every night.
Oh dear. All right. Have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time on the Mr. Brad Worden Show.